Blog Talk Radio.
Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. Pajama Party. Grown and sexy. Join the party. Pajama Party. Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed.
All right, welcome to another Friday night edition of the Pajama Party. How about that? I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling. Happy Friday.
Yup. Back in the saddle. How about that?
Holidays almost here.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers to you.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers, Ketel.
All right. How's everybody?
Everybody's good. I am anyway.
Doing well, thank you.
Good, good. How y'all like this nice weather we had today?
Yeah, really good. Really, really good.
Oh.
That was very nice.
Well, the weekend is almost here. Well, I guess it is here.
Yeah, this is Friday, weekend. Friday starts the weekend, don't it?
Yeah. Well, let's get it started.
All right.
Okay.
How are you, Poppa D?
Yeah, what's up?
Not much, just living a dream. But, I don't know, I guess the main thing, one of the main initial questions tonight is, just the seriousness of, this whole vaccine thing. We really can't get around that without emphasizing that. Just our views around the table for a minute of, the world tightening up on this vaccine. What's it going to take? Because it's not a big deal to do. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. What do you think?
Well,
Redwine?
I think we're at the point now. Well, I think we have passed the point of people feeling like this is an optional, personal preference kind of thing. I get it. On the one hand, people are saying it's my body. I should be able to choose what I put in it. But by the same token, when you're putting other people at risk, at some point, we all have to get beyond ourselves and think of the collective whole. We can't just say, I'm going to do what I want and what works for me, and not look at the fact that if we all think like that, we'll never get beyond this whole COVID lockdown situation. We're going in reverse. Certain cities now are starting to put up some of the measures that they had relaxed. They're putting them back in place again because the numbers are going up instead of down. That tells you that something is wrong. So I just think, we got to get over ourselves and just do what's best for the population. As my boy said in Star Trek, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one. That was Spock who said that. But that's my viewpoint.
I can dig it.
What do you say, Ketel?
Go back to the same thing I said before. Just get the shot. When you're out and about, people try to encourage other people to wear masks or, just. I was at a gas station the other day, and a black guy was talking to a white lady, and he said, make sure you wear your mask. She said, thank you, kept rolling. So just be conscious and aware, Like you said, the numbers are going up as far as these schools and all kinds of schools, the elementary schools to the colleges, So this stuff is real. And it's going to get worse. That's what they keep saying, But The last thing I did hear something on radio yesterday saying that D.C. was, quote unquote, one of the number one safest place to be, and number 4 was Maryland. So I think the people, constituents here, the mayor, governor, and stuff like that, they're doing everything that they're supposed to do. Keep us safe. It's just up to the individual now.
Right. Well, one of the counties in Maryland has gone back to virtual learning again because the COVID cases were increasing, I guess, at an alarming and ridiculous rate. So, now they're having to go back to that. And the kids, I know, are not happy. They were finally, getting back into the groove of being at school again. Now they got to go back to online learning again.
Yeah.
This is going to be a hot mess.
Yeah, I heard it on the news today where they're everybody's like virtual again and all this again,
and the parents
can't keep.
And the parents have to become teachers again.
And disrupt their lives.
Exactly.
Yeah, but my take on that is like you said, Ketel, it's just a shot. You know what I mean? It's a shot. I got a flu shot today, and just to get it done, it's not even I don't know I think sometimes people overthinking it, and you are who you are to do what you do, but, this is just something that's a requirement that has to be done. Just like oil change on your car or keeping a proper inflation on your tires. You can neglect anything you want in your life, but after a while, that bevel's going to turn into oblivious, and you're going to be right back to square one and look back and say, "Wow, I should have done this a couple months ago, because now my tire blew out when I knew that tire was bad all the time, or I knew this was bad all the time." I mean, things in life that we're going to put off things in life naturally anyway, because nobody's perfect and we ain't up on all our game. But something like that, when you look and see how far you're behind, man, if I look at my vaccination card and I got shots 10 months ago or a year ago, then people that don't have it done, they're running late as hell. And anyway,
yeah,
they're not going to beat that horse too much.
Okay. So. Well, Ketel, let's get to the rundown. What do we have on the list for tonight?
All right. Let's get it cracking. All right. Our topics tonight are, I guess I'm pronouncing this right, Key Chant School, this first female NYPD commissioner. Also, airline CEOs face lawmakers on cancellations and delays. And Louisiana judge takes unpaid leave after video captures racial slurs. Bet. Also, I hit and quit it headline. Excuse me. McDonald's to pay black store owners $33.5 million to end bias suit. Also, Samuel Jackson and wife make historical Spelman alumni donation. Also, Vice President Harris, Treasury announced billions for black and minority businesses. Also, O.J. Simpson is, quote-unquote, a completely free man. Parole ends in Nevada. Also, tornado hit factory, sued. Workers said they couldn't leave. And GSA washed its hands of tracking Trump D.C. hotel profits. Our cocktail of the week. Also, what's poppin' with Poppa DD? Our weird news. We have to lighten it up, of course. Texas homeowner security camera captures dozens of visiting hogs. Okay, mean pigs. Not the Redskins. Kraft will pay you $20 not to make cheesecake for Christmas. And also, Minnesota teens 4-inch mouth gap recaptures world record. Okay. Strange. I'm just saying with Redwine, day late, dollar short. 11 for the city with Poppa DD, my Hollywood wrap-up. The kiss the list and the last word. Sit back, relax, get your favorite cocktail, and we'll be back with the hot topic.
You're in tune to the late-night adult pajama party right here on Blog Talk Radio. This is a production of DC Homegrown Entertainment. To share your opinion with the Pajama Party Crew, call us on 914-803-4306 and press 1. If you'd rather just listen in, you can still call us and listen on your phone, or you can listen online by going to our website, www.apajamaparty.com, and clicking the Listen banner in the top right corner. So join the conversation and let us know what you think about tonight's topics or whatever is on your mind. Okay, who turned the lights off? Call us now, 914-803-4306. Now back to the crew and more of the Pajama Party.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. One, your host, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling. All right, let's get it going. It's time for the hot topics. And Ketel, you're in the first slot. What's your hot topic tonight?
All right. Like I said, I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Ketel Sewell is first female NYPD commissioner. Woo, woo, woo. She will become the next New York Police Department Commissioner, Mayor-elect Eric Adams announced on Tuesday, and she'll be making history in the process. Sewell, currently the Nassau County Chief of Detectives, will be the city's first woman and the first black to lead the nation's largest police force with more than 52,000 members. Wow, that's a lot.
It is a lot.
Adams, who will be sworn in by the mayor on January 1st, told the New York Post that selecting Sewell, she's only 49, to be the city's top cop was his gut choice. The former NYPD captain has reportedly favored Sewell as his pick for NYPD commissioner for months. Ketel Sewell is a proven crime fighter with the experience and emotional intelligence to deliver both the safety New Yorkers need and the justice they deserve. All right. So in response to the history-making moment, Sewell told the newspaper, I'm here to meet the moment. I'm very humbled to even be considered for this, and it's an extraordinary opportunity. Wow, kudos for her. She's been in law enforcement for 25 years and will be only the third black police commissioner in the city's history. Benjamin Ward served as first black commissioner under former Ed Koch. Remember everybody, Ed Koch? And Lee Brown led the department under New York City's first black mayor, David Jenkins. I remember him. So he goes on to say, I think you have to take a look at quality of life crimes because sometimes they lead to something else. You have to make sure you're using the broken windows theory, the enforcement of those low-level crimes in a way that's not discriminatory, in a way that addresses the problem and doesn't actually over-police it in some retrospect. Okay. Makes sense.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Kind of, yeah. It sounds like this case that what's going on with, I think his name is Dante Wright, where the white officer shot the guy in the car and she made a mistake. And, I mean, they just pulled him over for something stupid, you know. But,
yeah.
You know.
And now that brother's dead and his son is fatherless.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, you know, some petty crimes don't need to be dealt with in such a manner as it has been in the past. So, just, you know, try to do something different, I guess. That's what I'm saying. So kudos to her, though.
Yeah, I wish her much success.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So.
I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with New Year's Eve. You think New York's going to pull it off with the COVID numbers going up? And, you know, they're making all these plans and then stuff went crazy.
I think they did it last year, but it was like spaced out. You know, so I think you had to have a ticket or selected people could be in Times Square or something. I don't know. They figured it out somehow. So I guess
Okay.
they're not trying to have people not come to New York City, but still, that's it's a big surge up there. So, to me, I would just stay put. I wouldn't even travel. So, not to New York City.
I'm sure they're not trying to have a super spreader event.
Right, I agree. So, just stay your ass home. Yeah.
All right. Shout out to New York.
Yeah.
All right. I've got one on the airline CEOs. They're on the hot seat with the lawmakers up on Capitol Hill over the recent cancellations and delays that the airlines have been going through. And this is in spite or despite the $54 billion bailout that Congress gave them, and they still can't seem to get it together. So major U.S. airline CEOs were up on Capitol Hill on Wednesday being questioned by lawmakers about whether or not they spent those billions of taxpayer dollars appropriately. So the industry received a bailout, as I said, of $54 billion at the height of the pandemic when, of course, air travel came to a screeching halt. Now, the goal of the $54 billion was to preserve airline jobs, and in return, the airlines agreed to put limits on executive compensation and eliminate stock buybacks and dividends and not have those involuntary furloughs going on of their employees. But even with that $54 billion, the airlines said they had no choice but to downsize. So Congress is saying, all right, you need to explain. We gave you all this money to preserve jobs. You were supposed to cut back on executive perks, cut back on all that money that the people at the top get, not get rid of people, preserve jobs, but yet you still had cancellations, delays, and you cut back staff. So how'd you spend this money? Help us understand. That's what was going on Wednesday. So, of course, the CEOs were giving them this whole story about, well, we had this and that going on and how they didn't have enough pilots at one point, or they didn't have enough pilots to fly the number of planes that they had, and then there were some miscommunications that happened. So they were basically tap dancing, in my opinion. One of the CEOs from American Airlines said, we ended up with planes in the wrong place, people in the wrong place, and that created the cancellations that happened in October. Southwest Airlines CEO said that they did have some scheduling mistakes over the past year. United Airlines CEO said we were struggling with a regional pilot shortage, that they just didn't have enough pilots to fly the planes. He said they had about 100 planes that were grounded because they didn't have enough pilots to fly them. But all of the executives were in agreement that the road to recovery would have been a lot worse if it hadn't been for that payroll support program provided by Congress. They said it saved about 400,000 direct passenger airline jobs. But, the executives were addressing the worker shortage concerns, saying that we've been doing, aggressive hiring practices. And, they're saying that they're planning to hire 30,000 new workers in 2022. But they still didn't really explain, so how did the numbers go down if we gave you all this money to keep the numbers so you could hold on to people until the COVID freeze basically was over? So I don't know how they talked their way out of that one, but, They say recently the Thanksgiving travel rush, pretty much went without too many major hiccups. But they are concerned that with the latest variants of the Delta variant and the Omicron variant, the CEOs are worried that this could kind of send them backwards in terms of the progress they've been making and trying to, pull the airlines back up on top again. So we shall see.
So you
I don't know
you sold the money that we gave you, and you don't know what the hell you did with it. So many words.
Pretty
that
much.
What they say,
That's
Yeah, I'm listening to the crap. I mean,
that's
now,
what I'm hearing.
But how are you speaking on now, saying that with the recent variants, what did that do? Give you a new excuse and a new alibi?
Mhm.
That has nothing to do.
Sure.
I mean, didn't they give them money with a B in it?
Yep.
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
And see, when people when these executives get this money, and you know, sometimes executives are very young. You know, they're all they're in their 30s, so they're at the top of their game when it comes to thinking they're the smartest people on the planet. And they just messed up a bunch of money and destroyed it. Now they can't account for it. Now they hoping that the pandemic comes back. Give them something else to hide under.
Another excuse.
Yeah, they hoping a big old shady tree come along so they can hide under that tree. It's scary. It's a mess. It really is.
Well, that's all I have on it, but I think we need to keep our eye on them.
You know, I'll have no. These airlines are a mess. They're a mess. I'm a train guy.
I mean, there's so much money involved, and to be able to go up on Capitol Hill and answer questions, and that's what I can come up with. Oh, well, we had planes in the wrong place, pilots in the wrong place, miscommunication. Why?
Yeah, but ain't nobody blaming the executives. But where's the money? Or how's the money accounted?
Yeah.
You're going to blame the unions and, everything that's got to do with everything else but the real deal. But anyway, this story here is pretty wild, too. You know, we're done with that one.
Yeah, I'm done.
This is this Louisiana judge. You know, she put herself on unpaid leave after her so-called home video captured racial slurs on it. You know, and this is basically a buildup of what most Caucasians realize in their worst nightmare is that them being ripped off by a person of color. This is why they arm themselves. This is why they do everything that has to do with protection, pay all kinds of security companies, because the biggest people they don't want to rob them, or the ones they think is going to rob them, is people of color. So this lady's complete fantasy of how she would be robbed finally came to light. Okay? Now, this is Louisiana judge. She says she's going to go on unpaid leave after a video from her home captured people reportedly using racial slurs following a burglary attempt. Okay? Her lawyers said, now her lawyer, she's a damn judge and she got to get a lawyer. How about that? Okay? Her lawyer said Wednesday that Lafayette, Louisiana, city court judge, her name is Michelle Adenet, or something like that. Adenet. We'll call her Michelle O. She temporarily stepped down Thursday from her bench so she could take some leave. But it gets deep, okay? And her lawyer says she's humiliated, embarrassed, and sorry for what she's done and the trouble that she caused to the community. All right?
Whatever.
This is what her lawyer said Tuesday. So he said tomorrow she's going to take an interim leave without pay. I guess he had to throw that without pay thing in there. And whether she's getting paid or not, we don't know. Anyway, so the move comes after leaders and activists, including president of local chapters of the NAACP, called for Michelle O's resignation. All right, the video first reported by a local news outlet. The outlet was called The Current. It was shot after a burglar attempt at her home on early Saturday morning. Her lawyer said the Lafayette police report obtained by the news outlet called Current said it occurred about 2 a.m. An unnamed person reportedly saw the suspect leaving one of the family's vehicles. Okay? The suspect tried to run but was quickly caught and held until officers arrived. Okay? This is what the news outlets reported.
Was that a citizen's arrest?
Now, yeah, exactly. They don't even elaborate on that. They say an unnamed person They're not even going to say who did it, whether it was a police officer or whoever or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it was just somebody had a gun. An unnamed person reportedly saw the suspect leaving one of the family's vehicles. The suspect tried to run but was quickly caught and held until police officers got there. Now, in the video, which appears to show people discussing a home security video on the suspect's captured, a man could be heard saying all kind of stuff like mom's yelling, N-word, N-word. A woman's voice can be heard responding, we have an N-word, and it's an N-word like a roach breaking in our house, yada, yada, yada. They're just describing the video as it's happening. So apparently whoever recorded them in the house, something leaked somehow. I don't even know how it got out, but it must have leaked
Yeah,
anyway,
let that out.
The judge says that it appears at the same point on the video that the lawyer said that, but he declined to say that it was her actual voice speaking on here. But she claims that she don't know what happened because the burglar really upset her so much that she took a sedative and she doesn't remember anything that happened. After she watched the video, she was so upset by what she saw in the video that she took the sedative, fell asleep, and the next morning had no recollection of who said what in the room. But in turn, she's running for her life to take a leave of absence and everything else. Man, these white folks talk out of both sides of their damn mouth. It is how do you get away with this shit? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean,
so they in there dropping N-words.
Dropping N-words like it ain't nothing. They looking at TV like we watch the Super Bowl. This is how they watching that security video. But my question is that who leaked the video in the house of everybody cursing out loud?
That's a good question.
I don't understand.
I did read another article that said one of the male voices that was dropping N-word bombs was her son, who has now been kicked off of his swim and dive team in school. I think he's a high school student or something. I don't know if he's high school or college, but whatever school he attends, he has been kicked off of his diving or swimming team. Once the story got out, because they apparently either heard or believed that the male voice was his.
Well, this is just another case, and I'll close out on this. This is just another case of, like, white folks, why don't you just tell us how you really feel? Because they hobnob with black people all day on the job. I'm sure this judge has about 4 or 5 different county clerks in there, sisters that she, that work for her. You know how the judges got all kind of clerks that at their beck and call in there. The bailiff is black. Everybody in the courtroom works for the judge because the judge is, they're king or queen in their courtroom, and it's mostly black around, especially Louisiana. The bailiff, the court clerk, the this one, the that one. But then when you get back to your little home up in the suburbs, all you can say is N-word, 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 and you're working with N-words all day long. So like I said, tell us how you really feel about us. That's what's really deep.
I believe they did.
Yeah, well, it's amazing how when they get in on their own time, they turn to a whole different, and that's what we should never forget, because when them jokers get on their own time, they speak in their mind like they want to speak.
Behind closed doors, they feel free.
Yeah. Anyway.
So how long was she suspended?
No, she's not suspended. She took a leave of absence.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, she took a leave of absence, claiming that she took a sedative, don't remember nothing, and got to get her head right. And I don't think she probably will come back.
Oh.
See, sometimes, when you resign, you can go to a wider circuit court. She can go somewhere. She can go somewhere in Louisiana where it's white as snow, and they'll love her. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I agree.
That's
some foolishness. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm putting her on the kiss it list.
There you go. Well, if anybody want to join in the conversation, hit us up tonight, 914-803-4306.
And press 1.
Press 1. Get in the queue.
All right.
No.
We're going to take a quick break, and then we're coming back with the Hit It and Quit It headlines for this week on the Pajama Party Show.
This is Ketel.
And this is Redwine.
If you like news, but you like the weirdest kind,
you're in the right place. Join us every Friday night
for the Pajama Party Weird News.
We find stories each week about some of the strangest and oddest news stories around.
If there's ghosts driving, stupid criminals getting caught, or just bizarre medical stories,
we report it right here on the Pajama Party Weird News.
It's funny and informative, and we look forward to it every week.
And you will too.
If you like weird news like we do,
join us every Friday night on the Pajama Party Show.
It's a weird world out there, and we'll tell you all about it.
Right here on the Weird News,
where we celebrate the weirdness.
I'm probably one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
Bonsoir, darling. Woo! I love me some weird news.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
All right, but right now it's time to hit 'em and quit 'em with the headlines from this week. So much went on this week, so we're going to give you some of the top headlines, and we're going to hit 'em and quit 'em like only we can. And, Ketel, you've got the first one. Go for
all
it.
Right,
hit it.
well, in Cleveland, McDonald's will pay $33.5 million to a former baseball player who owns multiple franchises to end a lawsuit he brought against the company, accusing it of racial discrimination. His name is Herb Washington. He's black, owned more than a dozen restaurants in Ohio and Pennsylvania. When he filed a lawsuit in February that said the company has treated white owners more favorable and denied him the opportunity to buy restaurants in more affluent communities. McDonald's said in a statement Thursday that the amount it was paying Washington for 13 franchises was, quote unquote, no more than what we deem a fair price for the value of the restaurant. While we were confident in the strength of our case, this resolution aligns with McDonald's values and enables us to continue focusing on our communities, to the communities that we serve. Okay. Discrimination has no place at McDonald's. That's what the company is saying. The lawsuit also filed in U.S. District Court in Youngstown said McDonald's sought to steer Washington towards stores located in poor neighborhoods, and that black owners average around $700,000 less in annual sales for stores than white owners. Interesting. In September 2020, more than 50 black former franchise owners sued the company with similar allegations. That suit said that black owners were offered to buy stores in poor areas that had higher security and insurance costs, and were denied things like rent assistance during renovations that they said white owners were given. I mean, does this sound like the farmers thing or what? Come on, y'all.
Yes. Just a whole different business industry, but same old song.
Right. I forgot. I guess this sentence is important. The company announced it would spend $250 million. That's all over 5 years to recruit and support franchise owners from minority communities. That's all y'all got to give?
Okay. A drop in the bucket.
I know. Come on. But they see that there is a problem. So, I'm 50-50 on that. Y'all made me mad, McDonald's. I like y'all fries. Really? I like y'all fries, but damn, y'all making me starting to not go there no more. Shit, come on, y'all.
Yeah, that's some slanted stuff that they're doing.
Mhm. Put them on the kiss list for this week. Yep.
All right. This is McDonald's where now?
Cleveland.
Okay.
Mhm.
I got them.
Yeah.
McDonald's in Cleveland. Biased and unfair. I guess that's the same thing.
Mhm. Yeah, well, that's good.
Biased and full of bull.
double indemnity. Why not? That's it.
Yeah. Hit them with both of them. All right, we're going to hit them and quit them. Let's see. Poppa DD, you got the next story?
I got this story here. I'll tell you what. They make this sound like it's some kind of hoorah story, but to me it reminds me of Howard University, and I just don't. Just to preempt this story, I just don't understand how these colleges are supposed to be so famous. How it's this lack of concern for them, and when they get in a dire straight situation, like who's really taking care of this crap? You know what I mean? Now the story leads by saying that Samuel Jackson and his wife Latanya Richardson Jackson make an historic Spelman alumni donation. Makes you sound like yeah. But as I read the story, you'll see how this is relative to Howard University in Washington, D.C. Now, Atlanta native and Spelman alumni Latanya Richardson Jackson joined her husband Samuel L. Jackson in providing Spelman College with the latest alumni donation with the largest donation in the school's history. Okay, they contributed $5 million toward renovating the school's John D. Rockefeller Fine Arts Building. Okay, the Atlanta Communist-Constitution reported. Now, the Fine Arts Building, a 57-year-old and in desperate need of renovations. All right?
Wow.
Now, this building suffers from asbestos, poor ventilation, lack of handicap accessibility, as well as outdated theater, dressing rooms, bathrooms, all warrant and recent decisions by the college and renovations with constructions that was especially supposed to start in the spring of 2022 once they get this donation from the Jacksons. Now, you can set up this fast renovation thing, but why you been dragging your ass with all these situations? And the sad part about it is that kids have been performing in this raggedy-ass building with all this shit going on. Now, just like Howard University, when them kids was out there making their demands on stuff, people sat back and I'm sure, what's her name, Debbie Allen and her sister, they stood up for a minute, but the president of Howard University sat back sitting on his hands for a minute to see what was happening with it. But these young people, they're spoiled as hell. A lot of them wasn't born until 2002, 2003. And a lot of these kids are suburban kids. They was raised in houses with central air. So how the hell you going to put a fan in the motherfucking window with kids was raised on central air? I don't understand that move, that's just one thing. But getting back to the story in Atlanta with this situation here, and all the time you keep hearing about, Spelman and the other college, what is the brother college across the street there?
Oh my gosh, what is that school?
Spelman and it's on here somewhere.
Yeah, I can't think of it right now.
Yeah, but anyway, Morehouse.
That's it.
So he went to Morehouse, she went to Spelman, and and after all these years of people saying, yeah, Morehouse and Spelman, you would think all that stuff is elaborate. If you can't fix it up, then go to Home Depot where the Spanish jokers got the pickup trucks in the parking lot.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, you really? It don't take a lot of money.
Asbestos, that's ridiculous.
Oh,
and that building, you say that thing is 57 years old?
Yeah.
The Fine Arts building?
But it's not so much the age, it's that we know what it's built from, and this should have been taken care of. But everybody is hyping it. But, they're looking at the other buildings that have to do with science and whatever, or, stuff like that. But I don't understand. But then the hoopla of these particular colleges, when there's a bunch of other HBCUs that are probably in more dire straits than that. But everybody's putting, and this ain't the first people to contribute big money to these two colleges.
That's
but
true.
Just like you said with the airlines, where the hell is the money going?
That's a good question.
Where's the money going? Everybody gets donations, and then when the people get the check, people look at it, it's almost like when you say what you're going to do when you get your income tax check. Right? Man, remember back in the day? Oh, man. Ooh, when I get my income tax check, man, I tell you what, I'm going to change the world when I get that income tax check. Man, you get that income tax check, that shit spent over a weekend.
Yeah.
You know? And you ain't done jack of what you said you're going to do.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, I can't speak on that because I'm paying internal revenue every goddamn year. But anyway, I'm just saying.
But you know what, that's probably what happened with Howard. I think since the president ain't saying too much, maybe he took most of the damn money. Shit, went to his salary.
Exactly.
I think a lot of the money is
people
going to people's salaries.
Exactly. Not only salaries, but the luxuries thereof. When different people go to, when the president goes to places and coming back, there's always a black limo out there. Well, not so much a limousine, but, you know, those black sedans that pick people up, you know. Yeah, call a sedan. Yeah, call a sedan. Call a sedan. You know them sedans. Shoot, when them sedans sing you the bill, boy, right? Shit.
Yeah, you might as well have got to stretch.
That stuff is, but, you know, in the long run, we're making jokes about it, but I'm just saying the fact that everybody in this world needs to understand this here, and I'll say that for my piece. Anyway.
Well, I just want to add one thing. When you were talking about where does the money go, now, where I work, they participate in the Combined Federal Campaign, the CFC, where they have this whole long list of all these nonprofit organizations that you can do payroll deduction and donate if you so choose to. But what's interesting is that if you want to look into it, you can just click the link and you can look at what percentage of the money you donate, how do they do? I think they do it based on every dollar. What percentage of every dollar goes to the company's overhead? And it's amazing how some of these companies have like 15, 20%, 30% is overhead. Now, when you're donating for a cause, you want your money to go to the cause. But some of these nonprofits that have such high overhead, if you don't look into it, you would never know. And it's not like it's hidden.
Well, what's their overhead? Is it salary?
Yeah, overhead is like the rent. It's the administrative, the rent for the building, the salaries, all of that stuff. And whatever the difference is goes to the actual cost. So if you're doing like an animal shelter or something, if it has a 40% overhead, then only 60 cents of every dollar you donate is going to help the animals, directly. And then the rest is going to everything else.
Oh, yeah.
So
I mean, do you think
only
that's
saying
fair?
that to say, I'm not saying whether it's fair or not. All I'm saying is when you give money to an organization, you need to be aware of how much of that money goes directly to what you're trying to give it to.
Right, gotcha.
You know. So that's all I'm saying. Because when I started looking at that stuff, I was like, wow. If I'm going to do this, let me find an organization that has a very low overhead and donate to that. Because I ain't trying to pay all this other crap that comes off the top. But anyway, all right. We're going to hit them and quit them, allegedly. All right, I got one on Vice President Harris and Treasury. They've announced billions of dollars for black minority businesses. And we'll see how that goes. Vice President Kamala.
Her name is
trying to
Kamala.
make sure I say
Don't
it.
call me Kamala.
Oh, here we
Her
go.
name is Kamala. Don't call me Kamala.
Kamala Harris and Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen headlined an annual Freedmen's Bank Forum on Tuesday of this week, announcing $8.7 billion in federal funding for financial institutions that serve minority and underserved small business owners. I don't know where they get all this money from, but they've set it aside for minority and small business owners. So the sizable investment announced by the Office of the Vice President and the Treasury Department is part of a $12 billion that was secured last year by Vice President Harris when she was still a U.S. Senator, along with Senators Cory Booker, Chuck Schumer, Mark Warner, and U.S. Representative Maxine Waters, who was chairman of the House Financial Services Committee. So there's an act that's called the Jobs and Neighborhood Investment Act that was intended to support community financial institutions that serve low to moderate income and minority communities, as well as respond to significant loss of black-owned businesses and everything pertaining to, of course, the COVID pandemic. So bottom line is, this money's been set aside. They got a program set up. I don't really know how you get any of this, what you have to do to apply. The story didn't elaborate. It just said that the Freedmen's Bank opened 37 branches in 17 states. At one point, it did collapse due to mismanagement, etc., by the executives. But Deputy Treasury Secretary Wally Adeyemo, who is the first black person to serve in that role, moderated the panel at the Freedmen's Bank Forum. So it sounds like, it said when it collapsed, it was like a decade ago. So they've gotten it back up and running. They're making all this money available. I just hope they communicate it well, so it doesn't end up being handled like that PPP program where all these businesses, like, who was the sports team? One of the professional sports teams that was able to get some of that, I forgot what that acronym stands for, the PPP money that came out based on the pandemic when they were trying to help businesses. There was a professional sports team. I don't recall if it was, I think it was a basketball team, wasn't it?
I heard a term.
I think it was Mark Cuban's team. They ended up getting I don't know, it was a lot of money. They got money from that program. I have to look up what
I think they returned that money.
Yeah, they did after it got out.
They returned the money. Yeah. Big deal.
I don't know if they were going to return it automatically, or was it because word got out that they had gotten it, and then the shame of it. I don't know. But you're right, they did return it. But there were, quite a few companies who jumped in front of the line and got money that they clearly didn't need. And the companies who really needed it didn't get an opportunity, or I'll say by the time they got in.
Maybe they just have a clear criteria of how to get the money. They would just, if you applied early, it just seemed like they were just giving it away. It should have been a certain criteria, but it just seemed like it was not one. So that was the screw up.
I think the criteria, payroll protection program. I think that's what it was. Okay. Those 3 Ps were. The point of it was for people to be able to continue to pay their employees
through the pandemic.
Because the idea was they don't know how long COVID was going to last, so they were thinking, well, it may be 3 to 6 months, something like that. This can allow you to keep your employees paid so that people don't just fall off the edge of the earth in the meantime.
So this particular program, the vice president has started up again. Is it similar to it? Is that what you're saying? That's what this is?
To me, it has some similarities, but in this case, it's specifically for minority and underserved communities.
Okay, here we go again. The white folks don't come after us again. But anyway, I hate to say it.
Like they did with the farmers, I know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're hitting them and quitting them. All right. I have the next one. OJ is completely a free man. Really? OJ is a free man, 74-year-old. Dang, he's 74. Former football hero and actor, acquitted California murder defendant and convicted Las Vegas armed robber. We got a long title. Was granted good behavior credits and discharged from parole effective December the 1st. Okay. It goes on to say Mr. Simpson is completely a free man now. Okay. Simpson declined an immediate interview and intends to remain in Nevada. Okay. He became an NFL Hall of Famer and the first running back to gain 2,000 yards in a season. Buffalo Bills in '73. Wow, that was a long time ago. He acted in movies and served as a rent-a-car company. Hey, that was a commercial rent-a-car when he was running through the airport. So it became this became the trial of the century. Yeah.
They were saying, go, Juice, go.
Yeah, he was acquitted in 95 of the double slaying of the ex-wife Nicole and the boyfriend Goldman. But then you're going to go back out there and steal your crap back. That's why he went to jail. But, it is what it is. So he's a free man, so that's it. And see what he's going to do in his next chapter of his life. Should be interesting. So, all right, that's it.
Hopefully he'll stay out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So we'll see.
Keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Back to you, Poppa DD. What's up?
Really? Boy, y'all moving along here. Anyway,
there wasn't much to say.
on a sad note, up in Kentucky, Mayfield, Kentucky, survivors of the, as you know, the tornado that hit the different places up there, and saying that a Kentucky hit factory, they sued workers, said they couldn't leave. So let's see what's up with this here. The survivors of the tornadoes that leveled a Kentucky candle factory. You heard about all that on TV. Killed 8 workers. They have filed a lawsuit claiming that their employers demonstrated frequent indifferences by refusing to allow employees to go home early as the storm approached. And I can believe that completely.
Wow.
Because, bosses always act like they want to be aggressive. And it was most of us in that, because if you've seen by the survival things, it was a lot of sisters that was talking about they were stuck and things like that. So the lawsuit filed in state court late Wednesday accused the company of violating Kentucky's occupational safety and health workplace standards by keeping its staff at work despite a danger of death and injury. The suit seeks compensatory and punitive damages from the Mayfair Consumer Products. Bob Ferguson, a spokesman for the companies located in the western town of Mayfield, he previously insisted that employees were free to leave anytime. Yeah, sure they were. And he denied that they would have faced retribution if they left the factory. So the company CEO named Troy Propp said in a statement Wednesday that the company, and I'm sure he wasn't even there at the time, his ass was probably home, on high ground. He reported that the company had retained an independent expert team to review the actions of managers and employees leading up to when a tornado struck the factory. The lawsuit claims that the factory had up to 3.5 hours before the tornado even hit the place of business to allow employees to leave its work site in a safe, precautionary manner. And the factory showed fragrant indifferences to the right, where people are saying, I want to go home, and they're saying, we got a production to put out as close to Christmas and all that. So This is an ongoing situation that's really deep. And it happened, as you can see, people are complaining about it immediately. This happened the other day. And people already filed lawsuits saying these bosses wouldn't let us go home. And it's so much they couldn't hold them, but when people throw threats on your livelihood saying, if you go home, you're fired, and a lot of people working in the candle factories are really, they're vulnerable people. They're good black people, that.
And they had a lot of immigrants working in there too.
Yeah, I'm sure. So it's just sad how, and then the bosses are going to say, no, they're free to go. Yeah, really, give me a break. And your ass is safe, and these people had to get rubble taken off their heads. One lady said she was trapped up against the wall, couldn't move. She's crying as she's talking on her cell phone, talking to the police, and then it's just a mess. I mean, some of these towns are so backdated with racism, and it's crazy. But two people I haven't heard from yet in this whole situation, which is what's his name?
Mitch.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell and a guy named Rand Paul.
Oh, I'm going to talk about Mitch.
Rand Paul and Mitch McConnell. I haven't heard anything from them. And this is the state they represent. Now, Mitch can get up there and talk about supporting Trump and everything else. but he didn't say a flipping word concerning anything about the tornadoes.
Oh, he finally came up.
Yeah.
Mitch finally said something, but I'm gonna talk about it.
He didn't say it a couple of days when it was in effect.
No, I said finally, like as in today.
Oh, please.
Piece of crap.
Okay.
Anyway. Anyway, speaking of pieces, I'm sorry, were you done with that?
Yeah, I'm done, yeah.
Okay. Speaking of pieces of crap, GSA, General Services Administration, they allegedly have washed their hands of tracking Trump's organization's D.C. hotel profits, which is what they were supposed to have been, one of the things they're supposed to have been doing. So they basically said, we're done. We're not tracking that anymore, according to a congressional report that was released on yesterday. And this was, the report was put together by a Democratic-led House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. They said that GSA ignored critical ethical and constitutional issues involving then President Trump's financial interest in the hotel. They said in the report the GSA failed its basic responsibilities for not tracking millions of dollars from foreign governments that stayed at Trump International Hotel, nor did they look into the origins of the $75 million loan that helped the hotel continue operations when, during COVID, when stuff started drying up. Somewhere, a $75 million loan came up that they later said came from the family. But GSA didn't go track it down and verify it or nothing. So the report faulted GSA for not investigating, as I said, that loan that allegedly came from the family. They didn't look into the sources of income, the conflict or potential conflicts of interest for private financial interest in Trump's role as president when he was president. They also didn't review the amount of profit that the hotel was generating from foreign government payments, which was a potential violation of the Constitution's emoluments clause, which prohibits presidents from getting gifts or payments from foreign governments. I mean, it just goes on and on about all the stuff that GSA did not do. Because at one point, apparently, GSA just decided, you know what, I'm done. We're done. We've looked at this long enough. We're not tracking it anymore. I don't know who or when GSA decided to just say, we're done with this. But additionally, the House Oversight and Reform Committee released a different report in October that said Trump misinformed the public regarding the hotel's finances. The committee released financial statements showing that the hotel had lost over $70 million while Trump was in office. Apparently, they're saying that was not accurate. Ethics lawyers have criticized Trump's decision to not completely divest himself of the hotel in Washington and other financial interests back in January 2017 when he took the oath of the office of president. The report repeatedly faulted GSA for not canceling the family's hotel lease, even though the language in the lease, which is weird to me, the language in the lease says that the federal lease with the Trump family runs for nearly 100 years with extensions. Who signs a lease to anything for 100 years with extensions, mind you? This is some mafia bull crap. I don't know.
Yeah, I never heard nothing like that.
Yeah, I never heard anything like that. So
this can't be that desperate for money.
This is crazy. So allegedly, the hotel is finally supposed to be sold to the CGI Merchant Group, which is a real estate investment group out of Miami, Florida, for the sum of $375 million. And GSA has to sign off on that before that deal can be completed. So
they all in bed with each other. That's all. That's
yeah.
what it boils down to. That's it.
It's a whole lot of funky going on with this one.
Sure. That's how they get through things, yeah. That's how they're able to wash their hands or whatever of things through different entities. If it's business, this, that, that's just what they do, you know. So.
Yeah, this is a wild one. I'm going to go to the phone lines real quick and pick up a caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to the Pajama Party Show. Go right ahead with your comment. Hello, caller. Go right ahead with your comment.
I guess they didn't have one.
Okay. Yeah. Poppa DD said coldfeet.com. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Well, with that wraps up the Hit It and Quit It headline. I guess we'll go ahead and take a quick break, and we're coming back with the cocktail of the week. You got a good one for us, Ketel?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back with the cocktail of the week. You're listening to the Pajama Party Show.
This is the Pajama Party coming to you live. What's on your mind? Call us on 914-803-4306. Got an opinion or just want to say hello to the crew? Hello! You know what to do. Call 914-803-4306. If you just want to listen to the show online, go to www.apajamaparty.com and click the banner in the upper right corner. But if you want to talk to the crew, you need to call us on 914-803-4306 and press 1. We'll get to your call as soon as possible. It's nothing but fun and a pillow fight every Friday night at the Pajama Party. And remember, PJs only, no clothes allowed. Now back to the crew and more of the Pajama Party. Bartender, another round for the house. Thank you, darling.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party 1. You're with Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling. All right. It's time for Ketel and the cocktail of the week.
All right. This is called the Classic Saratoga Cocktail. This classic recipe for a Saratoga cocktail. It combines everything of the Manhattan and Metropolitan, and it dates back to the 19th century. It dates way back. The recipe dates back to 1880s. Okay. So we have 1 ounce of brandy, 1 ounce of whiskey. So I'm trying to keep warm this winter. 1 ounce of sweet vermouth, 2 dashes of bitters, and a lemon twist for garnish. So we're going to gather all these ingredients and mix in a mixing glass filled with ice for the brandy, whiskey, and sweet vermouth and bitters. And that mixing glass stirred and strain into a chilled cocktail glass. And that garnish of a twist of lemon or an orange peel, whatever you prefer, or both. And that's it. That's the Saratoga.
All right. Saratoga.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. I like it.
All right. Enjoy. I'll have a nice creamy one or champagne one probably next week. So enjoy this one this week.
Okay. Thank you so much. The cocktail of the week is brought to you by Ketel and DC Homegrown Entertainment, our parent company. And we thank you both for that. We're going to pass the mic over to Poppa DD for What's Poppin'. What's poppin', Poppa DD?
Well, like I was saying earlier, I just, when I look at the different colleges and everything, that it seems like everybody's just perpetrating a fraud, you know, when the money trickles down, or like they say, when the rubber meets the road, it's always some controversial stuff. Like when that situation was going on at Howard University where them kids were protesting, nobody took them serious initially, you know? And I'm sure the president looked at, because most of them were freshmen. you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was the freshman dorm that was in disarray like that. So you look at them like, well, wow, what them freshmen complained about, blah, blah, blah. They should be lucky they're going here. Hey, nobody's lucky to be doing it. Them kids can go anywhere. Half of them probably came out of their high school with honors, you know? And they don't need to go to no damn Howard University. I mean, please, that place, in my opinion, sometimes I think it's kind of overrated, in my opinion, but I ain't going to say it too loud being in the D.C. area. I'm going to get my ass kicked. But anyway, I'm just saying, you know, you only are what you are based on your integrity and how tight you tie up your bootstraps, you know? If your ass is hanging out, then your ass is hanging out. And I don't think that anything in that, based on the reputation of that college, there should be maintenance people in place that keeps everybody in authority abreast of everything that's getting old, needs to be done. I mean, corrosion is the main factor in this world. That is the number one thing that airlines focus on because they're constantly in the air with weather and things like that. So corrosion is a buildup on your car battery and everything else. Corrosion is one of the biggest situations in this world. And corrosion sometimes is based on neglect, lack of, people not paying attention to. And once you get corrosion, the next aspect from corrosion is crumble, you know? Mm-hmm. If your battery in your car gets too much corrosion, that shit just ain't going to work at all. I'm going to be honest with you. And after a while, it's just going to be, you need a new battery because corrosion has just diluted the plastic and everything else. But getting back to the colleges and all, when you got situations of asbestos and in the case of Howard University, mold and mildew and, you know, this is neglect. This is something that's not, and I wouldn't say so much neglect aggressive and neglect, legitimate neglect, but just neglect where they just haven't been paying attention to it and it's gotten far gone. You know, because, you know, mold is a hidden species that sneaks up on you. But once you discover it, you have to do something to tame it, contain it, put it in perspective, because it could be cleaned up with bleach water. Or sometimes you just got to cut out the area that is growing on. You just got to get you a bandsaw and just cut that whole area out. You know what I mean? That whole wall section, that whole sheetrock area down to the woodwork. You just got to grind it out. Or if it's on a wall that's, you know, sort of transparently able to clean up, people can use bleach water, you know, by knocking it down in some respect. But it's got to be adhered to. If not, they'll keep growing. And no telling what the mold looked like at Howard University. And the same with Spelman when we talked about that earlier. What they saying the asbestos in this building, and this was the art building, you know, and this is something that should have been taken care of a long time ago. I mean, in Atlanta is like isn't that the Mecca place of the Mecca? You know, don't they got, you know, Tyler Perry with his Mecca, and everybody got the Mecca. I'm Atlanta, Georgia, Hot Atlanta, ATL, the Mecca. And then you got Spelman and Morehouse supposed to be the Mecca of the whole move. But the shit is wore out. So somebody ain't paying attention. Those executives up at Morehouse and Spelman, they spending those donations as fast as they can get them on a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of hype, a bunch of, you know, being, you know, just trying to, I don't know. It's just deep. Anyway, they're on the kisser list, all of them. Howard University, Spelman, Morehouse, kisser list, all of them jokers. Anyway, really? I'm done with it.
Okay. Poppa DD put them all on the kisser list.
I'm a high school dropout. I don't give a damn about no college.
Yeah, whatever. You can announce those. I can't do those. But, all right. Well, since you're dropping the bomb on the universities, I guess it's time to lighten it up.
They need to be, you know, put on blast for a minute.
Okay. All right, Ketel, we going to lighten it up?
Yep. Well, let's rock and roll with it.
All right, we're going to lighten it up.
Okay, I got the first one. Weird news here. Texas homeowner security camera captures dozens of visiting hogs. And that's not the Redskins. Well, the Washington team, I'm sorry. They used to be called the Hogs. A Texas man who spotted evidence of wild hog activity outside of his home checked his security camera footage and was shocked to see dozens of the animals had visited overnight. Glenn Garner of Siena said he was walking his daughter to the bus stop when he saw the footprints and other evidence that hogs had visited his yard during the night. He said, I saw a ton of damage in our front yard, in our neighbor's yard. Some of the houses down the street were hit worse than ours. Garner said he checked his security camera footage and expected to see wild hogs, but he was shocked to see how many of the animals had been through his yard. He estimated 25 to 30 hogs were on the troop. You've seen one hog, okay, Garner said, and then you see the whole family troop filing in. It's just like really bizarre, he said. He said the hogs did a lot of damage in a very short amount of time. They move really quickly. Looking back on our camera, they were in our yard less than a minute. Wow. The Siena homeowners, the Homeowners Association said wild hogs coming down the banks of the Brazos River have become a seasonal problem in local neighborhoods. So, hey, they just passing through. They just, they don't know any better.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Wild hogs. I'm just glad that they weren't, outside when it happened because, they could have got trampled on or something, Something else bizarre could have happened other than them messing up the yard, So,
Very true. Very true.
All right.
Okay. Well, my weird news is about Kraft cream cheese. Apparently, who knew Kraft cream cheese is going through a shortage? Did anybody know that? There's a shortage of cream cheese? I had no idea. But Kraft says that there is a cream cheese shortage, and they're using it to manipulate that as a marketing opportunity. So they've launched a campaign that says for just a few days during this holiday season, a limited number of people will be able to spend $20 on dessert and charge it to Kraft, the owner of Philadelphia Cream Cheese. The premise is people who cannot bake cheesecakes because they can't find cream cheese can get another baked good on Kraft's dime. So here's how this works. Anybody interested in the offer can visit a special website set up by Kraft, and on December 17th and 18th, that's today and tomorrow, up to 18,000 people will be able to get the right to get a reimbursement for a holiday treat. You'll be able to submit your receipts to the company a few weeks later. And Kraft says the campaign is a good way to soften the blow of empty cream cheese shelves and keep customers thinking about Philadelphia cream cheese without souring on the brand. So cream cheese is one of the latest hard-to-come-by grocery items in the year of shortages. They're saying a spike in cream cheese demand during the pandemic has made it harder for them to keep the shelves stocked. I guess because people are home more because of the pandemic, folk are making cheesecakes and doing other things that people do with Philadelphia cream cheese. They said last year more people were baking and eating at home, and the demand for cream cheese jumped about 18% compared to 2019. And it stayed at a high level in 2021, according to Kraft. Meanwhile, restaurants have also been ordering more Philadelphia cream cheese. So, if you're one of those people that like to make cheesecake and you can't get your fix of Philadelphia cream cheese, go to Kraft's website and see if you can't get your $20 reimbursement to get something else.
Okay. What does that come out to?
It's an interesting marketing spin.
18,000 times 20. That's all. That's 36 million.
Don't hurt yourself, Kel.
$360,000. That's what it is. Or is that 36 million?
Uh-oh. Yeah, I told you, don't hurt yourself. All right,
Papa,
Poppa
which
DD.
one is it?
Is it 36,000 or 36 million?
I don't know.
She's trying to calculate $20 times 18,000 people.
$20?
Uh-huh.
All right, well, if it's only $20, 18,000, it's definitely won't be in the millions. It'll be in the thousands. It's only $20. Only one zero behind it from the beginning. You can't get 5 zeros starting with 1 0. You damn sure can't get 7 starting with 1.
4.
Anyway. Are we up to my story?
Yes, it's over.
This story is about people with big ass mouths. A Minnesota teen, 4 inches mouth girth, I guess they call that. Is that girth?
Mm-hmm.
Recaptured the Guinness Book record. This happened last week. Gape? Is it gape?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Open up your mouth.
Like a gaping hole.
Yeah. It's a big ass, open your mouth and stretch your jaws and stretch your ears. Minnesota teenager's big mouth recaptured the Guinness Book record when his gape was measured 4 inches. Now 4 inches is pretty big.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, that's about the size of
2, 3, 4.
About
yeah,
the size
that's abnormally big.
Yeah. Anyway, Isaac Johnston, he earned the record in 2019 when he was 14 years old, and his grape was 3.67 inches. But he lost the record to a Pennsylvania teenager a few months later, but then he now recaptured it, having a full 4 inches. So the person must just beat him by a couple of fractions. And he said, I guess it must have grew as I grew. So maybe doing it, open my mouth, stretching it out, maybe that helps too, So he told a radio station in Minnesota. Anyway, Johnson said he's been invited to appear on a TV show about Guinness World Records. I'm sure that's a wild-ass show. Tall, short, big legs, big butt, big titties, whatever else they do on this show. Anyway, it's an amazing, unforgettable experience that I'm very lucky that I have naturally big mouth, and he looks forward to the TV show.
Well, now I'm curious. I'm going to have to measure mine over the break and see.
Your mouth ain't that damn big.
Well, I'm sure it's not, but I'm wondering, how big is it? Okay. Well, that wraps up the weird news. So,
yep.
Anybody measure, open your mouth and see how wide you can open your mouth, and you can compare it to this dude who has a 4-inch gape opening on his mouth. So he's got 4 inches opening from the top of his mouth to the bottom. That's pretty big. That's like cartoon big. I don't know how he did that. But anyway.
Ooh, it's like grape, but without the R. It's gape. Grape, gape.
Yeah. Okie dokie. That's why it's the weird news. What can we say? All right, we're going to take a break, and we're coming back with me, and I'm just saying, I'm going to talk about Mitch McConnell on the other side of the break on the Pajama Party Show.
Hey, this is Poppa DD. Join me on Friday nights live at the Pajama Party Adult Online Radio Talk Show. And don't miss my segment called Living for the City and What's Poppin'.
Hey, and join me. This is Redwine with the long stem, and I've got the hot topics in my commentary called I'm Just Saying. And don't forget, the cocktail of the week for me, Ketel with the yellow top. I got the Hollywood wrap-up along with Weird News. And don't forget, we've got the Kinder list. That's for the people who get on our last nerves, and you want us to call them out.
So join us on Blog Talk Radio for the Pajama Party.
Every Friday night at 9 p.m. on the East Coast and 6 p.m. on the West Coast. Go to apajamaparty.com to listen online or follow us on Twitter at apajamaparty. Call us live, 914-803-4306. And don't forget to press 1.
Now let's get back to the show.
Hey, what happened to the snack tray or the bartender?
Does he want to see my slippers?
I'll call the room service.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. One of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling.
All right, we're going to go with Redwine on her segment of I'm Just Saying. Take away, Redwine.
Okay, and for the record, I can only open my mouth like 2.5 inches, so I'm just saying.
That's because you calm. How big can you?
I'm just saying, for that dude to go 4 inches, I'm like, dude, what you been doing?
How big can you open it when you're pissed off at somebody?
Well, that's a whole nother thing. But anyway, I'm just saying, tonight I'm just saying, day late, dollar short. Day late, dollar short. All of a sudden, this week, your boy, Poppa DD, Mitch McConnell.
That's your boy.
That's your boy. Mitch McConnell, Republican Speaker of the House, decided to wake up and realize he's been dragging his feet on important topics. Old Mitch finally got around to going to Kentucky to survey the damage done by recent tornadoes.
Right. He's a senior citizen from Kentucky.
Yeah.
The junior citizen,
but
the junior senator is Rand Paul.
Let's recall that Mitch represents the state of Kentucky as their senator. Yet, he didn't go to Kentucky until 2 days after President Biden. What were you waiting for, Mitch? As usual, you were a day late, dollar short. I'm just saying. And also, out of character for Mr. Antagonistic Mitch McConnell, he was thanking the president for how quickly he reacted and responded to Kentucky's emergency situation and how Biden was doing everything possible to help the people. Now, you know, usually Mitch McConnell has got nothing positive to say about Biden, the administration, or anything done by a Democrat.
That's right.
But all of a sudden, Mitch is singing a whole different tune.
Yes, he is.
It just makes you wonder, like, what is up with you? What you been taking this week? Something Mitch McConnell is just getting around to, apparently, was, trying to do the right thing. What's up, Mitch? Someone finally pulled your coattail and told you to put your butt in gear and go home and check on things for yourself?
Your old-ass butt.
Yeah. Or did your conscience finally get in touch with your brain a few days after the fact? I'm just saying, Mitch, you are a day late and a dollar short. And speaking of being out of character for Mitch McConnell, today Mitch made a statement that the American people need to know the findings that come out of the January 6th Commission. Now, again, let's recall, Mitch McConnell fought against this January 6th Commission from day one. As soon as whoever came up with the idea said we need to investigate, form a committee, et cetera, Mitch was like, no. It's a waste of time, waste of effort. Nothing can come out of it. We already know what happened. We don't need to do this. He had nothing positive to say about investigating the events of January 6th. But all of a sudden today, it's a whole new Mitch McConnell.
Your boy.
Mitch McConnell was like, the American people need to know the information that the January 6th committee has been, investigating and coming up with. I'm like, wait a minute, what is that? That movie, Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Loop-de-loop.
I'm like, this is not the same, what's that raisin that they used to do, the commercial? Heard it through the grapevine. That's what I think of when I see Mitch McConnell. He looks like one of those old raisins. Just wrong color. But this cannot possibly be the same Mitch McConnell. You're praising the president. Now you agree that the January 6th committee is doing something beneficial, and you finally got off your butt and decided to go to Kentucky, to your state, and go check on your constituents 2 days after President Biden has been there and gone. You are a day late and a dollar short, Mitch McConnell. I'm guessing maybe it was the ghost of Christmas past pulled up on Mitch and told him some stuff, showed him some stuff, and he realized, I better get it together. But don't be fooled, because a snake is still a snake, even if it doesn't bite you every time. I remember back in the spring when Mitch said the January 6th Commission is not going to uncover anything of relevance, it's a waste of time, all of that stuff he said. But he clearly was wrong, because if you've been following the news, that committee has uncovered some off-the-chain text messages that different Republicans and some of the Fox News people were sending the day that January 6th happened, that they were pleading and begging Trump to do something to stop the mayhem and the destruction that was going on the steps and in the Capitol. But all of this is coming out because of the January 6th committee that's investigating all of this crap. And now that it's coming out, Mitch has jumped ship. Now Mitch wants to be on the right side of right. So I guess, like I said, that ghost of Christmas past must have told him or showed him something. And now he realizes, you better get your act together, boy, because you are barking up the wrong tree. And now he's trying to show that he's got some good sense. But like I said, I'm not fooled. I don't trust him. He may be saying the right thing this time, but he's still Mitch McConnell, and he's still the leader of the Republicans in the House. I'm not going for it. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, Mitch is a day late and $1 short. This is Redwine. I'm just saying, Mitch is probably running game. I wouldn't trust him any further than I can throw that wrinkle raisin. That's all I got to say. Whew. I'm done with Mitch McConnell.
All right. Drop the mic, baby.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Because he come up with some bull, but you know what? I am going to drop it. Drop that thing. All right, we're going to go to a quick break, and then we're coming back with Poppa DD and Living for the City. Oh, boy, it's the Pajama Party Show. You know how we do. We could shoot straight from the hip and maybe other places, but that's what we do. We'll be back on the other side of the break.
You're listening to the Pajama Party Late Night Adult Talk Show. We've added a new segment to the show called the Kiss It List. Every week, we put people on this list who have done dumb stuff or have been irritating or just gotten on ours or your nerves. So we call them out and put them on the Kiss It list, and we tell you why. If you have somebody you want to add to our Kiss It list, hit us on Twitter at @PajamaParty and use hashtag #KissIt, and we'll add them to the list. If you prefer to email your contenders, send them to info@apajamaparty.com. We'll call them out every Friday night at the end of the show, so get those names in. Now, let's get back to the Pajama Party Crew and more of the show. DJ, would you mind turning it up a notch? Oh, how rude. Oh, you're on the Kiss It list.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. One who's Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling.
All right. Okay.
Time for Poppa DD. You clapping for yourself?
That's right.
Okay. It's time for Poppa DD and Living for the City. Woo, what's happening in the city, Poppa DD?
Well, I tell you what, the reason why Mitch McConnell, who is the senator from Kentucky, which the state got ravished, especially Mayfield, as we just talked about. That's because these politicians live in the DMV. I have not seen one politician from Montana, Wyoming, what other places we talking about?
What, Utah, Nebraska.
Once they get here and they become a senator or a congressperson, they don't go back to their hometown. They live in a nice house in Maryland, Chevy Chase somewhere, all up in Bethesda, up in the hills of Bethesda.
Virginia.
In Virginia, they live somewhere overlooking Rock Creek Park with the trickles of the brooks, and they looking at little frogs out their window. They're not going back to the flatlands of Montana. Are you kidding me? It's why it took him so long to go back to Kentucky, because his ass was resting in Bethesda. They love it here. Everybody, from Lyndon Johnson all the way back to everybody, even Barack Obama. Barack Obama's from Chicago. Where does he live now? D.C.
That's right.
Okay, look at Trump's son-in-law. What's his name? Anyway, Trump's son-in-law and Trump's daughter, they live down the street from Barack Obama, and they're from New York originally. Every politician that comes to D.C. from any one of these flatland states way on the other side of the world, when they get here, they stay here. That's why D.C. is becoming so gentrified, because, you know, they're catering to the rich. You look up and there's cranes everywhere. Everywhere you look in D.C., there's a crane building something else. And black folks are running for their lives over to Prince George County. They got to get out of D.C. They kicking them in the butt as they run. Ain't nowhere for them to live no more. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. They done took the whole Southeast and turned it into a baseball field. Nats Park. Lord have mercy. I used to date a girl who lived right there at third base. Now it's a damn stadium. Ain't that a damn shame?
That's a shame.
I used to ring her doorbell. Her doorbell was right there at third base. Now it's a baseball field. Ain't that's a goddamn shame. Anyway, but here's another deal too. There's a guy, a football coach named Urban Meyer. This man was a coach of, I say was because it's past tense since yesterday. He was the coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, which is an NFL team. Now, this man was such a dirty dog, they finally got rid of him. A few weeks ago, they lost to the Cincinnati Bengals. Instead of flying back with the team when they lost, he flew back to North Carolina, claiming he was going to a family event. They filmed him in his bar in North Carolina humping on a little young girl. He married like a monkey, but, you know, only him and his wife will settle that particular argument. But the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars thought he would, you know, get the respect of the team, and he didn't, so yesterday they fired his ass. But here's the real story. With the big news that Urban Meyer from the Jacksonville Jaguars got fired, when you turn on these sports programs, ESPN, Get Up in the Morning, all these different programs, the only people talking about Urban Meyer was black sports analysts. It seemed like all the white sports analysts took off yesterday. I looked up at Get Up, the show with a guy named Greeny. He's a Jewish guy. He was there. He hosted the show. But his panel, which usually has a couple white guys, Jeff Saturday, some other white dudes, they were all off. Because for some reason, white folks don't want to talk about other white folks. Now, mind you, the black folks that was there in their place beat the motherfucker. They beat Urban Meyer down to the ground. Talking about the stuff he did because he hired a racist guy as a strengthening coach for the Jaguars. He was a racist dude from Iowa, and he told him about that. And a whole bunch. The man done a bunch of stuff. Finally got rid of his ass, just like they did with the other coach from the Los Angeles. I mean the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders. What was the guy's name? Gruden, or Gruden. He was a racist dude too. Anyway, they find out to be these people, but what I'm saying is that, in a nutshell, is that one thing you don't do in life, don't talk about white folks around other white folks, okay? On your job, do yourself a favor. You're going to talk about white people with other black people. Don't sit back and talk about white people with other white people. That's a bad move, okay, because they're always looking out for each other's reputation. That's how they was raised. I got news for you. Stop thinking you got anything in common with white folks. You're better than them. Believe me, you are so much better than them. Your mama and daddy raised you better than them. Some of that poor white trash, they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, okay? And you come up with all that intellect and niceness and kindness that you learned from your parents, and they ain't got none of that shit, okay? So do yourself a favor. Stay who you are. And this, like I said, don't never talk about another white person in your environment with another white person. Go find you a black motherfucker to talk about white motherfuckers. I'm just giving that little piece of advice. Anyway, now, I covered the fact that the Congress people and the senators do not go back to their hometowns. Mm-hmm. They live here in the DMV, okay? I covered the fact that it was only blacks only. When they talked about Urban Meyer yesterday, he got fired. Blacks beat him down to the ground. White folks called out sick because none of them, they still want to go to games and all. It's always, and I'm not beating up on white people. I got a couple white friends out there, 2 or 3, you know. But it seemed like they always want to cover their tracks. They're amazed on how black people are so open and free with their conversation. They are so precautionary with everything, you know. Don't want to act, don't want to spend their money real quick. Oh, you got money? Oh, I don't have the white folks to say, oh, I don't have money. I just got plastic. I don't have any cash. You got cash? Well, yeah, I got cash, motherfucker. You think, what the fuck you think? I got cash. How many white friends have done that to you? You look up and they ain't got a dime. They at 2 o'clock in the morning, they ain't got no cash. So how the hell are we getting out of here? You know, like I said, I'm going on and on, but I'm gonna stop it right there to let you know that look. We have been oppressed for a lot of years. I'm not talking radical. I'm not talking off the chain. Look at your history in sports, music, everything from Nat King Cole to Louis Armstrong to actors to singers to dancers. We've been denied stuff for years. Simple stuff. Simple housing. You know, it's simple everything. The ability to do or buy anything. So learn from your ancestors what they couldn't get. Stop walking around like you're a modern-day black person that's entitled to it. That's bullshit. Check your history, okay, before you put that big foot forward. I'm done. I'm going to get out of there.
Okay, well. Poppa DD.
All right. Yep. He did the damn thing. You dropping your mic too?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Drop mic night tonight.
Uh-oh. You clanking bottles and dropping mic. Okay.
All right.
Drop the mic.
All right. Okay.
The 2 St. Pauli girls clinging.
I hear you. All right.
All right. Well, we're down to the Hollywood wrap-up. You ready, Ketel?
Sure.
Take a break. Or you got to put your makeup on, your false eyelashes, or you want to go right in?
Hey, we can go right ahead. I'm good.
Okay. She
All
said
right.
her face is beat. She ready to go.
Here we go. Let's go to Hollywood.
All right, take us there, Poppa DD.
Hollywood. Hollywood.
All right.
Thank
All
you,
right.
sir. I appreciate that. LeVar Burton, he's back in the news. It says when one door shuts, another one opens. It appears that none shall be shut on America's most beloved actor and children's television host. He's going to host Scripps, which is the National Spelling Bee. So kudos to him. Their longtime partnership with ESPN has ended. They've been doing that since '94, a long time, and has landed on Burton to take over the hosting duties of the telecast. Burton, 64, also became the host of the revamped version of the Trivial Pursuit, and in adding such a prestigious role to his IMDb page, continues his long-standing tradition as putting education first. He says the B represents the inspirational, aspirational ideal of education. So kudos to LeVar Burton. That's that. I mean, it should be. It's going to be interesting now, since he's the host. I like him. I've always liked LeVar Burton since Roots. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Him.
He can bring some flavor to that thing, because sometimes they make that thing dry.
There you go. That's true. Dr. Dre, other than his divorce from his wife, he's back in the news. They're talking about Dr. Dre has returned with 6 new songs on the newly released Grand Theft Auto expansion. I didn't know they still releasing Grand Theft Auto. I thought they wanted to take that off the market. According to the comicbook.com, the tracks, his music tracks will feature collaborations with Rick Ross, Anderson .Paak, Nipsey Hussle, and Ty Dolla. Also Snoop Dogg and Anderson .Paak as well. And Eminem. Wow. Okay.
Wait a minute. How they getting music from Nipsey Hussle?
Probably some stuff that he's never released. Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, you'd be surprised at what they could do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a Prince fan. She knows that.
Oh. Yeah, that's crazy. Also, Spike Lee. Haven't heard his name in a while. He has secured a deal with Netflix. Everybody's securing these deals with Netflix. Oscar winner filmmaker Spike Lee has linked a new creative partnership with Netflix. The multi-year deal comes with Lee directing and producing narrative features for the streaming platform. That will start in 2022. All right, 40 acres and a mule. That was his motto. So that should be interesting. Also, Tyler Perry. Unfortunately, he was in an auto accident yesterday. Burbank Airport in Los Angeles, while driving home in his Bentley SUV, a Honda Accord cut across 3 lanes of traffic in the Sherman Oaks area into Perry's path. Perry crashed into the driver's side of the other driver's car. Wow. And there were no reportedly injuries for nobody to go to the hospital. But
okay. So he's okay.
Right, but the crash wasn't enough to generate a police report, and everything will be handled privately. Really? Okay. All of that, 3 lanes of traffic? Okay.
But wait, if it's all going to be handled privately, then how did the story become public?
TMZ, of course. You know, they're handling everything.
Oh, my God. All right.
Crazy. Yeah. Also, Flavor Flav. Haven't heard his name in a while. He's hanging out with Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. Apparently, Pete Davidson is a big fan of Flavor Flav, and they're pretty good friends. And for Kim Kardashian's birthday present, he bought Flavor Flav. I was like, okay, that's what's up. That is what's up. So you see him in a photo with Mama Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, and this character, Pete Davidson. He is too much. I'm like, okay, that's what's up, Flavor Flav. And I hear he's coming out with another show as well. So it'll be interesting. He gets it. He gets it done. Also, Black Panther. But Letitia Wright, she's been hospitalized since September. She had an accident on the set of Black Panther 2, but rumors were swarming around that she was going to leave the franchise because she didn't want to take her COVID shot, or, you know. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I read that.
So from this report, the rumors are not true. She's just been hospitalized, and they have stopped production because of her injury. So apparently whatever she was doing is serious. So I guess they're going to monitor that. And last but not least, Pharrell Williams. He's going to receive an honorary doctorate degree from Norfolk State University. I haven't heard his name in a while, so kudos to him. Also, just recently we just heard that Lawrence Taylor just got arrested down in Florida for soliciting a prostitute. I'm like, okay, that's the oldest profession in the world. You can't go get your own stuff, baby. You have to go solicit yourself or pick up somebody else. Come on. So,
of all the things to get busted.
Yeah, I thought that shit was over.
I thought so, too. I haven't heard his name in a while, but, I mean, crazy. I don't know. All right. That's my Hollywood wrap-up tonight.
Okay. Well, you had a whole lot of info tonight. Thank you, Ketel.
Mm-hmm.
Ketel always brings us all the scoop and the info and all the deep. Thank you so much.
All right, well, we're going to get right to the kisser list. This is a group of people that showed their ass for the last couple of weeks, or a week and a half, or maybe just yesterday. And
all right, who you got first?
We'll start with Urban Meyer. He was a fire coach from the NFL team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I'm sure with him being fired, they're going to hire a black coach to clean shit up. That's what they always do. When everything is all messed up, they get a black coach in there for a year, then they fire his ass.
Clean up on aisle 4.
We got Redwine's boy, Mitch McConnell.
That's your boy.
He finally surfaced after couple of his towns was ravaged in Kentucky. He's finally, and we still ain't heard from Rand Paul, who was the other senator.
I haven't heard from him.
Haven't heard from him either. So, like I said, they all live up in Prince George County. They don't give a damn.
Somewhere.
Anyway, I also got Joe Manchin from West Virginia. He's just blocking everything. He's a Democrat, but I think he's an undercover Trump lover.
No, he is a Democrat.
He's a Democrat. He's from West Virginia, but he's undercover Trump lover.
I'm confused. I was like, wait, is he? But yeah, he is.
Then you got Herschel Walker for lying about having a college degree. He went to Georgia State, but he left after 2 years to join the NFL. He never got his degree. He's walking around. He's another Trump follower. Another Oreo.
Yeah, why are they going around saying he has a college degree? If you don't, you don't.
You got the GSA for not keeping up with Trump's situation at the Trump Hotel. Ron DeSantis, he's the mayor, governor of Florida.
Governor, yeah.
Yeah, for pushing the Stop the WOKE Act. Is what to stop the teaching.
Yeah, this whole stop woke.
Yeah, they want to. They don't want they call it critical race theory in schools, but it's just teaching kids about the truth of the history of the world. They want kids to learn basic bullshit that they know. They want white kids to come out and black kids to come out of school just as ignorant as they are. Anyway, and your boy Mike Lindell, he's the pillow guy.
Oh,
the guy that sells the pillows. He's a big time Trump lover. In fact, he's crazy. He is so Trump follower. It's not even funny. He says he'll spend every dime of his money to prove that Trump really won the 2020 election.
Are you serious?
But he's the only one still screaming this after 4 years. He's still screaming this. That man crazy. I wouldn't. I'll tell you what. I wouldn't. He's a jerk off.
Dude, go sit down.
Oh, God.
Did you get
crazy.
that judge?
Oh, yeah, and the judge, Michelle O. She's the woman that was watching the video of her house being robbed, yelling out all the N-words out there.
And her son.
Her and her son saying, there's an N-word robbing my house, there's an N-word robbing my house. She's a judge. Anyway. Not to mention.
Oh, go ahead.
Whatever you got. Go ahead, I'm done. What you got?
I got McDonald's in Cleveland for being biased against the black franchise owners.
Mm-hmm.
Spelman University for having bad conditions.
Asbestos and everything in their buildings. They're supposed to be a big-time college.
Yeah.
And don't forget Howard University for having
you mentioned Howard.
Their dorms. It was all molded and all that shit. So get y'all shit together, black colleges. And
also, I've got one more group, Turning Point USA. This is one of these, I don't know what you call them, conservative, as they call them, groups. They are hosting an event this weekend, and Kyle Rittenhouse is one of their guest speakers. Now, what does he have to say that you're going to have him on the program? They got a bunch of country music artists. They also have, as guest speakers, Donald Trump Jr., that dingbat Candace Owens, and Tucker Carlson. So that just lets you see what kind of program they got going on. And then they're going to bring, what is he, 18, 19? Kyle Rittenhouse.
He was the one that was acquitted.
Just got acquitted of killing two people in Minnesota. I'm so done with them, this group turning
That sounds
point
like a real
USA.
nice white affair, in my opinion.
Oh, it's going to be, except Candace Owens is black. She's a black woman, but she talks a lot of, you got to look her up. She's a whole nother conversation.
She's black in skin color, so we'll give her black
exactly.
skin.
She's black on the outside and ignorant on the inside.
There you go.
Anyway, anybody else?
No, that's it. What we got for him?
All right, we got a special gift for, and here it is.
My entire ass. Kiss my Irish ass. You better kiss my Irish ass. This world can kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. You can just kiss my ass. Baby, you can just kiss my ass. Oh, you can't kiss my country ass. I said if you got a problem with any of that, you can kiss my natural born redneck to the bone, ever loving country ass. That's right.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD, here with Ketel.
Hello.
Redwine.
Oh, bonsoir, darling. Darling, it's time for the last word. Happy Friday, Poppa DD. What's your last
My
word?
last word is just watch yourself. You know, like Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them. Believe them. You know, and get that COVID shot. Ain't nothing but a stick in the arm. And you know, we done been stuck a lot of other places in our life, so sticking in the arm shouldn't be that bad.
Hello.
Anyway.
Hello. My last word is. Yeah, I just lost what I was going to say, messing with Poppa DD.
No, you messed with Ketel. Ketel smirk.
No. I was just going to say my last word is don't be like Mitch McConnell. Don't be a day late and dollar short.
Yeah.
Handle with your business. Do what you got to do. Don't put off things
tomorrow.
that you really need to handle.
Don't put off tomorrow what you can do today.
Handle your stuff. You know, so many times we get caught up on, I'll do it tomorrow. Well, you know what? Tomorrow is not a day of the week. So let's stop doing that. Handle your stuff that you need to do, because tomorrow you don't know what you might be faced with. So you don't want to carry today's stuff into tomorrow.
Don't put off tomorrow what you can do today.
Hello.
I mean, we all get behind and stuff. We're not perfect.
Yeah, I mean, when it happens, it happens. But try not to deliberately do it.
Do we want to let Ketel say something, or we going to
I'm getting ready to kick it over to Ketel now.
All right.
So, Ketel, what's your...
No, you long-winded.
I am not long-winded.
All right, anyway. Ketel, what's up? You got the mic.
My last word is just be safe out here, because these streets out here is too much going on. I mean, things just happened so close to me a couple of days ago. It was behind my house, so it's a scary feeling. And these young folks out here just need to wake up. You know, they need to see what is going on with our city. You know, it's just a big change, and if you are not aware of what's going on of the change, you're just going to be lost. And they're just going to continue to, you know, shoot them up, bang bang. This is not the Wild Wild West. Go get an education, go get a trade, go do something. Unfortunately, Murray Burry, he's not here, but this summer program or maybe there needs to be a program 24/7 because this is of the urgency. This is, you know, we need some help. Yeah, so just be safe out there. That's my last word.
All right.
That's a good word. You're right. 24/7 probably would help. I'm not saying it would fix it, but I do think it would help. You can't just say, all right, summertime, let's get the young people involved and stuff. They need something going on around the clock, around the calendar.
Yep.
All righty. Well, we just want to, again, wish everybody a safe and happy holiday. Please be cautious if you're going to gatherings and things.
Yeah.
You know, we all want to feel like we can trust our friends and family, but you don't know where people have gone the day before you saw them. So you got to be cautious. Be careful. Tell folks if you're going to get together, everybody get those quick tests or something. Get tested at the door. If you're going to do it, get tested at the door. Let's all be safe. Stop playing around out here.
Approach it like it is.
You know, it's too much going on, you know.
Yeah.
I like to have a good time, too, but I ain't trying to pay for it with my life. I got stuff to do. You know what I'm saying?
I got unfinished business.
Unfinished business. So anyway, we just want to thank everybody for hanging out with us tonight. We do appreciate your time and attention. And hey, tell a friend about the Pajama Party Show.
That's right.
This year is almost done, but you know what? We're going to kick it up a whole nother notch in 2022.
That's right.
You don't want to miss it because we about to set this thing off next year. So be on the train and ride along with us next year in 2022 with the Pajama Party Show. Because, you know, that's what we do. It's PJs only. No clothes allowed. We're going to say goodnight and get on out of here. And you all have a safe and happy and prosperous weekend. Poppa DD, you want to say goodnight?
Good night, everybody. You're right. I got stuff to do. I got something in the damn mailbox.
Okay.
Stuff to do.
That's what to do. All right, Ketel, say goodnight.
Good night. Thanks for listening. And next time, don't be shy. Join the conversation.
All right. And I just want to say shout out to D.C., Maryland, Virginia, Florida, California, Jersey, Philly, and everybody in between.
One last note. I did want to give a shout out, happy birthday to our D.C. homegrown actress, Regina Hall. She's a good friend of the show, and I want to wish her a happy birthday. It was December the 12th, but better late than never. So, yeah.
Yes, happy birthday, Regina. We love you. All right.
Okay.
That'll do it for us. We'll catch you next Friday night, Christmas Eve on the Pajama Party Show. See you then. And peace. What Poppa DD?
One more thing. Condolences to the Thompson family out of West Philadelphia. They lost their mother just recently. Her funeral was a couple days ago. So God bless the Thompson family of West Philadelphia.
Amen to that. All right. And on that note, peace. We're out.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
Is it all over, Rock?
I guess so.
I bid you farewell, arrivederci, sayonara, and all that sort of jazz.
Well, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Well, good night.
Yabiko. Sana.
I regret to announce this is the end. I'm going now.
Good night, and good luck.
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
Now give me a kiss and say good night. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you for attending our show, and good night.
Pajama Party, grown and sexy, Pajama Party, Pajama Party, Party crew, keep it real for you. No